Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today it has been raining off and on all day, so I'm underneath a roof. Don't want to risk another rain shower, another storm coming through. But what happens on days like today, as happens in most days, is that we have it rains, rain goes away, sun comes out, get the humidity up again, just cooks, and then we get more rain, and these guys just love it when that happens. And you have to kind of put your tasks in between the various rain showers, which is okay. And actually it's pretty comfortable today. It is only 85 degrees Fahrenheit today, but really high humidity. So what I have today is 3 orchids that I want to highlight and share with you, and those are these 3 here. We're not going to talk about the dendrobium. This is where the dendrobium is. This is Dendrobium wu-lang progeny. It's been sitting on the table here for a while, doing well. But let's get to the 3 cattleyas that I want to talk with you about today. The first one is this is right here. And this is Cata Big Dipper. And I've shared this with you previously. This is heavy, I should say, because the plant is growing in 100% lava stone. And I've had this plant, out of all the 3 here, I've had this plant, I think, for the longest amount of time. I've had this for 3 years. It has stayed in this pot. It's not growing really fast. I don't know if it's because of the plant or because of the lava stone or what the reason is for that, but the plant seems to be doing okay. If you can tell, it's hanging up, but if you can tell, everything is growing out in one direction because of where the plant is located. So it's it's hung up on a place where it's growing out. It's kind of a shady place, and it's growing out to the light. And I think I'm probably going to have to repot this plant really soon. It's very heavy because of the lava stone. The lava stone, I think, restricts a little bit the growth of this plant. The roots do okay in it, and it's big chunky lava stone, so you don't get too much moisture that builds up in the pot. It drains real well. There's a lot of air spaces in there, so it tends to do pretty well. And this plant right now has 3 flower spikes on it. Each flower spike has between 1 and 2 flowers. And the reason I want to repot it is because there should be more flowers on this. So I think at one point when I checked a few weeks ago, or maybe about a month ago, I think it had 5 flower spikes on it. And what's happened is those spikes, those flowers, either rotted off or something happened to them. They didn't grow really well. And I'm not really sure if the plant is just not growing optimally or whether there's some pathogens that are there that are affecting this. The flowers that are open look really nice. There's some nice, it's a classical sweet Cattleya fragrance that's associated with this. But I think if I get this thing spread out and if I divide this plant, I'll get a little bit more growth, and it might be a little better quality growth. So right now, again, there were, I think most of these spikes had 3 flower buds on them, and not all of those spikes have been survived. Not all of those flowers survived, and even some of the spikes. One of the spikes just kind of rotted off completely. But the plant's doing well, and it's okay, and I'm enjoying the blooms. It's a nice plant. The blooms are a little bit smaller than what I like, but the nice thing about these blooms is there is a little bit of flaring on there, which is one of my favorite features in Cattleyas. The other 2 also have flaring. But it's, the flowers are maybe a little bit small, not as striking as I'd like it to be, and they're all purple to pink to various shades of that. But it's doing well, and it's pretty close to peak bloom. There's just one bloom right here that's not quite open. But overall, it's doing very well. I think that after the blooms fade, I'm not going to cross anything onto this, but after the blooms fade is probably when I'll divide this plant. And it's interesting, the tallest flower spike right here, the newest pseudobulb came out. It's about a good 2 or 3 inches above the medium. It's just crowded in the middle of the pot, and it decided apparently that the only place it could go was straight up. So so it did that. Nice plant, again, Cata Big Dipper. The next one that I want to share with you is right over here, and I've had this is Toshi Aoki Starburst. This is a plant that I picked up a year ago from RF Orchids in Homestead, Florida. And this plant, this is a really good, vigorous plant. It seems to be doing really well. And what's happened on it, and I've shared this with you recently, and if you're thinking to yourself, if you're really good at watching my videos, you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, these flowers have lasted so long. They lasted a month and a half and they still look beautiful. Well, no, they didn't. What you're seeing right here, and what I'll show you now, these are 2 new flowers, and they're striking. They're yellow, flared, with a dark red flaring and a dark red lip. And if you look behind the new flowers that are coming out, you can see the old flowers, and the old flowers look old, and I've also used them in pollination. So they faded very, very quickly. After you pollinate, the flowers will senesce or fade within a matter of days, and these have done the same thing. If you take even and you can hear the fading, this is I don't know if you can hear this, but this is the crunching of the dried flowers that are on these old flowers. The other thing that's interesting is I made 2 crosses because I love to make crosses, and I love in my mind to figure out, to try to guess what the progeny of these crosses are going to look like. To me, that's fun, and then the mystery or the waiting a few years to see what they look like. It's not as exciting, but it's fun. But the thing that I wanted to share with you, if you look at where the seed capsule is forming, one of these looks like it was a successful cross, and the other has already started to yellow. And these crosses were made, the tags are going to be hard to find. These crosses were made just like a couple of weeks ago. So not that long ago, but what happened is the flowers faded within a few days, and then the capsule starts forming, and if the cross was unsuccessful early on, you'll see what you see here is a yellowing of the capsule, and then this is likely going to fall off. There's one capsule that still looks good. I've got to figure out which cross it is. Both of these I'm excited about. One I'm more excited about than the other. Let me see which one is. Okay. The one that I'm losing is the one that I'm more excited about, but that's okay. I don't make crosses unless I really want to see what the progeny looks like. So I'm still excited about that other cross. So again, Toshi Aoki Starburst. It seems to be a very vigorous bloomer. There are a couple of three new pseudobulbs that are coming out of this plant. I don't know if any of them are going to flower, but we'll see. It seems this has already flowered for me once, so this is seems to be a periodic bloomer. So it'll send out a flower, and then that flower will fade, and then new pseudobulb, new flower. Unlike Big Dipper right here, all the flowers will bloom at the same time. So more of a show, but here a constant supply of flowers. All right, so that's the second one that I wanted to share with you. The last one that I wanted to share with you is right here, and there's a little story behind it. So this is Andy Urasaki, and the cultivar is Orange Flash. So the interesting thing about that, so this is from Carmela Orchids, and this plant is it's about 2 years since I received it. It flowered last year at about the same time, and it's a really nice flared yellow cattleya. Same thing with some nice coloration in the lip. The nice thing about this, the fragrance on this, I think it's it's kind of a cotton candy sweet fragrance. So it has a really nice fragrance that's associated with this flower. Right now on this plant, there's only a single flower. There were two, but now there's a single flower. And what happened, so I had this, right, and I bring my orchids that are behind the house, that are on the fence or in the pergola, I bring them here or some other place to enjoy. I put them down, and so what happened is I had it on this table here, and when I fertilize and when I water and when I'm tending to it, I will actually hang it in a tree in the front yard. And so all four of these plants here, but the three cattleyas that I'm focusing on today, they all hang. So all these guys are hanging, and it's easy for me to care for them that way. Anyway, I put this on a tree in the front yard, and then I came out, I fertilized it, I took care of it, it was fine. I came out at the end of the day, and it wasn't hanging in the tree anymore because Andy Urasaki decided it wanted to leap for freedom. So it actually fell out of the hanger. And what I'm doing is I'm modifying all the hangers, bending them away so that they'll grab onto the pot a little bit more. These are all homemade hangers. And I saw a hanger the other day that is like a great improvement, where what grabs onto the pot is bent so that it can grab the pot a little bit more efficiently rather than just grabbing on one point. You bend it a certain way and it can kind of grabs around the rim of the pot. This was on an old hanger that I had modified. It fell out of the tree. The plant was upside down. The pot was, I don't know how it did it. The pot was on top of the plant. All the media was gone, and the plant was just sitting on the ground, bare root with a broken flower next to it. And, I said my standard, prayer to the orchid gods that involved a lot of cussing, and calm down, and then clean the plant up. And I'm not glad it happened, but it was good that I was able to repot this plant, because a lot of the roots, when I got the initial plant, I didn't quite remove the old potting mix like I should have. So what was happening is all the roots that were in the old potting mix were rotted, and it didn't look very good. So I cleaned everything off, pulled all out of the dead, even though it was flowering, the roots on the plant didn't look very good. So I pulled it all apart, and as I pulled it apart again, what happened as a result of the thing falling out of the tree is it disrupted another plant. So here is a division of Andy Urasaki. And the nice thing about it, it was split. It was cracked. So I pulled it off. And this just happened like a week ago, but even within that time, there are a couple of new pseudobulbs, new eyes in here that have expanded a little bit, and it's starting to grow out. So it's this. So I got a new plant. Lost a flower, got a new plant. It's probably going to take a little while for this to bloom, but I don't know. It seems to be a really vigorous plant. But it's doing, both of these plants are now doing well. I think there's going to be a little bit of a recovery that's involved with all these things. Once I divide like this, I tend to really watch them and take care of them. So I have this new division is in a really good place on my fence, where I can watch and see what's happening, and that's why I was surprised to see that there's a lot of growth already within such a short time. But again, it's warm, it's humid, so these guys are all doing very well. But I got everything. I removed all the old potting mix. I got rid of all the old bark. I got rid of the old dead roots, and I put it in. Now most of my orchids are in a combination of leca on the of lava stone on the bottom and then leca on the top. I then add time-release fertilizer and a granular fungicide just as a preventative. So all of these plants seem to be doing pretty well under these conditions. All right, so that's all I have for you today. Not a long video. I just want to highlight these 3 Cattleyas, explain a little story about why I have a new plant of Andy Urasaki, and just wanted to share that with you. Things are, as I said, things are growing really nicely. Hopefully, one of my next videos will be some of the new flowers that I have on my dendrobium seedlings. There's a lot of things going on here. We have just, the orchids are growing like crazy. Lots of things going on in the laboratory. I brought, I think, maybe another 30 or 40 plants home from the laboratory that I added to my outside nursery space. Maybe we'll take a look at that too. It's been a while. But I'm all excited about that. And those plants, again, those plants are just loving the high humidity. And again, once it's not really bright here. It is bright, but we get, because it's raining and then get the clouds, it's not super sunlight. So my seedlings are loving this. It's bright, but it's not sunlight bright, and that's what they prefer. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for you today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.